Hey there, my name is Chris Rich, and I'm super excited to be featured on Thursday Thoughts for the month of November. I am a life coach, and I help members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints who are looking to make their mixed faith relationships not only work, but to thrive. I am in a mixed faith marriage myself, and I'm an active believing member of the church. So, over the course of the month, I'm going to share some of my very favorite tips and tools that have helped me personally in my mixed faith relationships, and also that my clients have found to be very helpful. So, I'm going to start off with one of my very, very favorite tools, and I call this tool 50/50. And let me explain what this looks like. So, we have this idea that we should be happy all the time and that we should always get along with our spouse and that our kids should always behave a certain way and that we should always show up as our best selves. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that's not how my life looks. So I just want to remind you that the human experience is going to have ups and downs. And so let's start with our emotions. And as that, with those ups and downs of being a human, part of the time we are going to feel emotions that feel amazing, like love. We're going to feel proud. We're going to feel content and connected and feel at peace. So, about half the time, it's not an exact science, but about part of the time, we're going to feel those emotions. The other part of the time, we're going to feel emotions that feel terrible. We're going to be angry. We're going to feel irritated and frustrated. We might feel grief. We might feel sadness or worry or anxiety. About the other half of the time, 50/50. So our emotions are going to, sometimes they're going to feel fantastic, and the other part of the time they won't. And that is a normal experience. This can be helpful when I recognize that I'm not feeling happy because then I realize it's normal to have this 50/50, that part of the time I'm going to feel amazing and part of the time I'm not, and it's okay. So that can be so helpful in with my emotions. I can also apply 50/50 to a lot of other areas in my life as well. Just going to be vulnerable and let you know that I am a 50/50 human, that half the time I show up as a rock star where I do and say the things that are totally in line with who I want to be and what I want to do, where I'm kind and generous and confident and fun. And I love it when those times happen. The other part of the time, I don't show up like that. I show up as a hot mess where I don't show up as my best self. I might be impatient or grouchy or rude or do something that's totally not in line with what I value. 50/50. Half the time I'm a rock star, half the time I'm a hot mess. And I'm guessing that if you are a human like me, you're probably the same way, 50/50. So if that's how I am, and that's probably how you are as well, I'm guessing that your spouse is in the same boat. That half the time they show up amazing and you really love to hang out with them. And the other half of the time, they might drive you bonkers and you might find them very irritating. So I love this tool because it helps me to be more compassionate with myself on the days where I'm a hot mess. And I have plenty of those days. It also helps me to be more loving and compassionate and empathetic with my spouse when he's having one of those hard days as well. So 50/50. My kids, they're 50/50, and I'm guessing so are yours. So we can apply this tool to people. We can also apply it to situations. You may have, I like to think of my day as, it's easy to see how my day is 50/50. Sometimes it's easy to look back and be like, oh, that was the worst day. But then if I go through and really look at the things that happened, I can identify things that went well and I can identify things that were hard. So that's, you look at that list that yes, you've got good things and you've got hard things as well, 50/50. Not an exact science. Some days maybe 80/20, some days maybe 20/80. It's just we've got that mix of back and forth. This I love this tool because it helps me when we're not so negative about the negative parts of our lives, our emotions, the people, ourselves, then we feel more positive. So it gives us a lot of space and grace to be human. And I love this tool. I use it, like I said earlier, I use it multiple times every single day. If you would like to learn more about this concept, I have an episode on my podcast, episode 62 on the Mixed Faith Relationship podcast, where you can find out more information on 50/50. And I look forward to seeing you next week on our Thursday Thoughts. Have a great day, my friends.